Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, and support each of you. We have two categories, two types of distribution partners. Our main focus on these morning sessions are with our resellers. There's no cost to be a reseller. If you're not one, I'll show you how to become one in a moment. It's a great way to be able to help others build financial literacy, access capital. You make a good income from it. And then secondly, we have our Shelf Corp stores. We're opening physical stores across the country. We actually are going to have a short Zoom today because we have some visitors in the office, and we are preparing to open 10 Shelf Corp stores in major airports across the country. So we're really getting a lot of traction in having the storefront offices. But let's get focused today since we have a limited amount of time. We're going to talk about settlement and mutual releases. We're going to answer questions that you have, and then, of course, we want to go apply, because I think it's almost improper for you to have the solution, the formula for funding, and not share it. There's so many people that want money, that need money to start or grow a business. You and I know that there's a process. We have to have a fundable business, and the easiest way to have a fundable business is through a Shelf Corp. And that's what you and I do. You and I help provide Shelf Corps to entrepreneurs so we can apply for funding in as soon as a week. So we hope that you'll take this knowledge and go apply it. So we are now offering clients, because what happens? Sometimes clients will sign up and they'll say, oh, I changed my mind. Maybe circumstances have changed, or they learned something new, whatever the reason. We want to talk today for a few minutes about how to properly handle a client that wants out. So this is what we're doing internally, and for those of you that are resellers, because remember, as a reseller, we're providing you the editable client agreement. So the client is signing with you as a reseller, and then we're your back office. We're doing the fulfillment. What do you do when a client says, oh, never mind. Oh, I don't want to do it anymore? If you want to release them, it needs to be done in a proper written legal fashion. And that's what we're going to talk about today, our settlement and mutual releases. So let's continue on here. So the question is, what do you do when you want to release a client from a contract? Because when you take our editable Shelf Corp agreement, you take our information off, put yours on, change the pricing the way you want, they sign it, you sign it, that's a contract. That's called a bilateral contract. You've signed it, they've signed it, it's a deal. So if someone just says, oh, never mind, does that make it go away? No. If we want to undo or unwind a contract, we need to do it properly. And that is typically done through a settlement and mutual release. So let's talk more about that. So again, our point here is I encourage you to not just have a verbal undoing of a contract. You'll know if there's a contract signed, right? If they've signed the Shelf Corp agreement and you signed it, it's a done deal. So does that mean you can't reverse it? No, you can reverse it. That's what we're talking about. But what we don't want you to do, or encourage you not to do, is just give them the verbal nod, oh, okay, never mind. Because that doesn't make the contract go away. That leaves loose ends and room for misinterpretation. So what we want to do is use a settlement and mutual release. So there's some key provisions that should be included in a settlement and mutual release. And we have a template you can use at no cost, of course. So the first thing is it's not admitting wrong, right? So it's not saying that you did something wrong or they did something wrong. It's not that they're at fault or you're at fault. It's just an undoing, an unwinding of it. It's not pretending that it was never signed, because that's not good business. It was signed, but it's not blaming anyone for anything. Secondly, the next key provision is it closes it out. It's closing the relationship. Yes, you and they, or in the case for us, when it's our client, yeah, there was a contract, but we're closing it out. So there's no ongoing costs, there's no ongoing uncertainties, there's no other liabilities, no more time that needs to be put into it. You may want to incorporate a settlement fee, because if someone signed a contract with you to buy a shelf corp, they agreed to pay you whatever the price is that the agreement says. You get to pick that price. Most of you are charging 15 to 25,000. So that's a promise they have. You could exit the agreement with no cost, but best practice is to at least have some nominal settlement fee, because that shows consideration. That shows, okay, instead of moving forward, we're going to end the relationship now on good terms based upon a certain amount. And you would determine what that settlement fee is. Because remember, if you sign up a client for a shelf corp, again, that's an agreement between you and them. You're picking the price. If you want to release them from that, you have the option to do so. You don't need our permission. It's an agreement between you and them, and you would decide if there needs to be a settlement fee incorporated. It's common because, again, it shows consideration. Now, in most cases, there'll be a confidentiality provision. So it says both parties agree not to talk about this anymore. So let's take Bernard, who's on there. So let's say that Bernard doesn't want to be a distribution partner anymore. And so we would issue a settlement and mutual release. Both parties would sign it. And then both parties agree, hey, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to badmouth anyone. It's private. It's a private relationship, a private agreement, private settlement. So with that, of course, our standard resources haven't changed. If you need QuickCash, 509 Pacific, make sure everyone has a landing page. If you're a reseller, if you don't have a landing page, I think you're going to find it more difficult. And so you can get a landing page. It has automation in that. If you need that, give Madison a call. We can get you set up. That's called the Reseller Marketing Program. So there's no cost to be a reseller. Sometimes people get this confused. There's no cost to be a reseller. There's not a contract to sign, right? So you would never have to sign a settlement and mutual release if you decided you didn't want to be a reseller anymore, because there's no contract to sign. We're very loose with resellers. You want to be a reseller? Great. Email us, no contract to sign, no payment. If you want the resources of the reseller marketing packet, then we have to pay our team to go develop your landing page. It has automation and so forth. So just don't confuse those two. But if you want to become a reseller, email us. If you need to talk to someone, call Madison. This bottom link here is important, and I think some of you are overlooking it. So we put our past trainings up on YouTube. So it's like a library. So if you wanted to learn more, what's this QuickCash all about? Well, then go to our YouTube channel. Yesterday, we had a really good training on essentially onboarding new resellers. So let's say that you're a reseller, or maybe thinking about becoming a reseller, but you need to understand more. Then great. Go to our YouTube channel, go to yesterday's training, which would have been February 3rd, Monday, February 3rd. We did a great onboarding training you should go through. A couple of you are calling me like crazy, and just because of my responsibilities, I'm not always able to respond to. And it doesn't mean I don't care, but your main point of contact is Madison. So that's why she's on this resource list here. So don't get frustrated with me or us. If you need more immediate assistance, then get with Madison. Okay, so that's just standard topic. So let's go back up. So what's our discussion today? Settlement and mutual releases. As a reseller, if you do not want a client to be a client anymore, you want to fire them or they want to quit, then what we're encouraging you to do is not just have a verbal agreement, formalize it. And we have a template you can use, doesn't cost anything. And so it's a settlement and mutual release. and that will help you officially, legally, ethically, morally release a client from the agreement. So both you and them know it's no more. And then we're going to do the same thing. If we have any clients that say, hey guys, no harm, no foul, don't want to work with you anymore, then we're going to release clients the same with our release. So if you need that form, get with Madison. She can send you the template and you can edit it and use. Any questions that any of you have today on a very simple topic? We spend a lot of discussion time on how to get clients and how to sign clients up, which is obviously our focus. But we also need to understand that there's a proper way to end a client relationship, to stop it. And it's not just to ignore each other or have hard feelings, it's to have a signed settlement and mutual release between you and your client, just like we offer our clients. Questions, comments, concerns on settlement and mutual releases? Anyone have questions? Okay. So again, from yesterday's topic, really important. If you missed yesterday's training, I encourage you to go back and view it. We talked about how to develop clients, how to make money, pretty much everything that's needed to be a reseller. Our goal is to work together and go help people, to help people have more financial literacy and increased access to capital. So we hope you take our program and this information and these resources and go make a difference in other people's lives, a positive difference, and earn income for yourself. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Apologize, we're ending our Zoom early today. We have a group of visitors in. We are in the process of signing a contract to open some brick and mortar offices in some major airports across the country, what we call Shelf Corp stores. If you would like to have a physical Shelf Corp store in your community, brick and mortar, there's no cost for that. Let us know. Give Madison a call, and we can certainly set up a brick and mortar store in your community so you're more visible, have a flag in the sand, and obviously in a position to help a lot more clients. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Bye-bye.